Let's talk about the metaverse. I know it sounds like a magical place they made up in Back to the Future, but trust me, the metaverse is very real. The most common definition is an embodied virtual reality experience. Okay, mystery solved, that's the end of the video. Okay, wait, there is a little bit more to it. The metaverse is about the fundamental switch from the real world to a digital one. Even though the metaverse has been gaining some buzz over the past couple of years, the word was invented 30 years ago by Neil Stephenson. He wrote a book called Snow Crash, and in this book he described the metaverse as an online virtual world where humans could escape the dystopia that they were actually living in. Sounds great. So the term was there, but let's be honest, no one knew what it was or used it in an actual conversation. Until the video game industry took it to the next level. No pun intended. Sega started experimenting with VR in the early 90s, and they produced a prototype called the Sega VR. This was meant to be an add-on to the Sega Genesis, but it never made it past the prototype phase. The reason for cancelling production was inducing motion sickness and severe headaches with users. So VR and the metaverse in general were put on hold. And it wasn't until 2010 when Palmer Luckey, a then 18-year-old entrepreneur, created the prototype for the well-known Oculus Rift VR. This reignited the interest in VR and also the metaverse. And in 2014, 4 years after his first prototype, Facebook bought the Oculus VR company for $2 billion. Founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, made the following statement after he acquired Oculus VR. After games, we're going to make Oculus a platform for many other experiences. Imagine enjoying a courtside seat at a game, studying in a classroom of students and teachers all over the world, or consulting with a doctor face-to-face, just by putting on goggles in your home. Today's acquisition is a long-term bet on the future of computing. So what are some examples of the metaverse? Well, some people argue that the first metaverse created was a game called Second Life. And even though this game did not take place in a virtual headset, people spent many hours living their digital second lives. The game created a whole online economy, and that economy today is still good for $650 million worth of yearly transactions. And we've seen this online economy thrive in multiple online environments. Fortnite, for example, one of the most popular games ever created, generated over $5.1 billion back in 2020 alone. But the most recent and maybe the most futuristic and up-to-date version of the metaverse is the virtual social platform called Horizon Worlds. Horizon is being developed by Meta, and it's important to know that Meta is Facebook and Facebook is Meta. In October 2021, Facebook made the announcement that they would change their name to Meta. This in reference to the metaverse and thus suggesting a heavy focus on virtual and augmented reality in the future. And Horizon Worlds is basically their flagship product. It's a massive virtual world where people can hang out with friends and interact with each other. They have over 300,000 registered users in North America alone, so there is definitely potential. And brands like Nike, Adidas, Gucci and more have recognized that and have already announced their presence in the digital universe. Now, this utopian world of course comes with its own problems. Because as wonderful as VR might sound, it also has a dark side. In December 2021, a woman was sexually harassed in the virtual world of Horizon. The woman, who was a beta tester for the platform, said she was virtually groped by a stranger. Meta replied by saying that the victim should have used a function called Safe Zone, which is basically a protective bubble around the user. In this bubble, no one can talk, touch, or interact with the user until they signal that they would like the safe zone to be lifted. And this incident isn't the only one. So this raises the question, who is responsible for making the user feel safe? Is it the user, or is it the company behind the virtual world? And harassment isn't the only concern. We all know video games can be addictive, and with the way technology becomes more and more intertwined with our personal lives, addiction to the metaverse can be a very serious thing. There's a lot of stories about people who are or were addicted to Second Life, for example. They were living their virtual lives while neglecting the one in the real world. And of course, there's a lot of dystopian scenarios where humans forget about their physical forms just to live the perfect virtual life. And even though this is not a massive problem right now, it definitely could be in the future. Some other concerns are the loss of social skills. And while this is nothing new since the introduction of TV, the internet and video games, a virtual world could definitely enhance this. And finally, it might make us forget about what is real. We could lose appreciation over a nice sunset just because we've already seen it a million times in the metaverse. When we escape to a different world, we might lose touch with the one we are actually in. Whether you like it or not, the metaverse is coming. So you better get your VR goggles ready and pick out your best virtual outfit. What do you think about the metaverse? Do you think it's a positive development, or are you maybe worried about the future? Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.